Hey, welcome back to another productive, not busy podcast episode. So I get inundated with emails and questions all the time about the podcast. How do I start one? What do I talk about? So my story is I started mine during COVID 2020, and I was basically transcribing all of my yellow notepads of all my notes from all my sales meetings, and the rest is history. 350 episodes later, thousands of listeners and subscribers all over the world. It's an amazing journey. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to delve in and do a deep dive on the free and easy options for people that want to start doing this. Before you start spending a bunch of money on equipment, programs, all that other stuff, I still to this day use a free platform to use to do my podcast. I don't pay money. I use my smartphone. And I did that on purpose so I could find out if I could go global with thousands of listeners and thousands of subscribers with free equipment. And it can be done. So a little history. And so going back in recent years, podcasting has really kind of emerged as a powerful medium for sharing stories and insights, okay? The knowledge that people have that other people don't, or the common ground, right? I filed bankruptcy. I'm an expert at navigating that now over somebody who's never done it before. Okay, see where I'm going with that, and that knowledge really resonates around the world. So, with its low barrier kind of to enter the vast potential for creativity in podcasting, it's become something increasingly popular among individuals looking to express themselves, right? Or build a community around their shared interest. But if you're considered diving into the world of podcasting but aren't quite sure where to begin, don't worry, I got your back. So in this episode, we're going to explore everything you need to know to get started on your podcasting journey with a specific focus on free and easy. Okay, and it's for anybody really, but free and easy is where we're going to focus on this. First thing you got to do is understand the landscaping of podcasting, okay? Before you delve into the nitty-gritty and the details of podcasting, I want you to take a moment to understand the landscape. Podcasting involves creating an audio content that listeners can stream or download on demand, right? From interviews to storytelling to whatever, educational content, all that. The possibilities are virtually endless when it comes to podcasting topics and formats. So sit back, relax, enjoy this episode, and we will get you started free and easy. Thanks. See you in a minute.
You're listening to the Productive, Not Busy podcast, where we show you how to do life and business confident, focused, and with a plan so that you can make more money. Have more free time and less stress. Your host, Wayne Withersby, will uncover actionable hacks, strategies, tips, and insights you can use today to live a better, more productive life. It's time to boost your mindset, confidence, and your attitude. Here's your host, Coach Wayne.
All right, so step one, you got to figure out what platform you're going to use as the gateway for your podcast. So one of the first decisions you'll need to make is when starting a podcast is where to host your episodes. So fortunately, there are several free hosting platforms available that really cater to beginners, and seasoned podcasters can use them as well. I'm going to give you some options here. Not in any particular order. This is just, I start with the one that I use and then I move on from there. But number one is Anchor, anchor.fm. And the reason is Anchor is really a user-friendly platform that offers free hosting for podcasts of all sizes, big, small, whatever. It's really intuitive, and the interface and its built-in recording and editing tools are super, super easy to use. So Anchor makes it easy for beginners to get started with podcasting. Number two is SoundCloud. While primarily known as a music platform, right? That's where I upload all my music that I write. SoundCloud offers hosting for podcasts. It's kind of a free it's got a free tier that provides limited upload time, so be careful with that. And it makes it a viable option for beginners who are just getting started that don't have really long episodes. Number three is Podbean. Podbean.com. Podbean offers they're both free and paid hosting plans for podcasts, and the free plan includes basic features and a limited amount of storage space, making it suitable for anybody with a budget. But going back to number one with Anchor.fm, I've got 350 episodes uploaded, and they don't blow them out. Some platforms will start dumping them, the oldest first after a while, so you got to really be careful with that. And then number four is Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout is a free platform that comes with limited or monthly upload time, but provides really essential features to help you launch your podcast. It's known for its user-friendly interface, and it's really basic, and the analytic tools are pretty decent as well. Next is your equipment, and equipment for free. So getting started without breaking the bank, okay? Everybody goes and buys these $500 mixing boards and $500 microphones and all this stuff. You don't need to do that. So, investing in high-end equipment can really enhance the quality of your podcast only if you know what you're doing. A beginner's not going to get the best out of super expensive equipment to begin with. You don't necessarily need to break the bank to get started, okay? So here's some free or budget-friendly equipment options for beginners. Best thing to do is use your smartphone. Some of the microphones on these smartphones nowadays, if you do it right, are just absolutely amazing. So many podcasters begin their journey with nothing more than a smartphone. And modern smartphones, like I said, are equipped with really decent built-in microphones and recording apps. So making them a convenient option for recording podcasts, especially on the go. Next is headphones with a built-in microphone. If you're on a tight budget, right, a pair of headphones with a built-in microphone can suffice for recording your podcast episodes. Now, while the audio quality may not quite be as good as a dedicated microphone, it's pretty cost-effective for beginners. And like I said, if you get the right pair in the right situation, man, you can get a decent sound out of it. Next is Audacity. Audacity is a free recording software. Now, Audacity is a popular and free recording software available for both Windows and Mac, and it offers basic editing features and relatively easy to learn. So making it kind of an excellent choice for beginners looking to edit their episodes without spending a dime. Okay. Next, number four is free music and sound effects. Super important if that matters to you. Okay. To add polish to your podcast, consider using maybe royalty-free music and sound effects. Websites like Free Music Archive or YouTube Audio can really be a help. They offer like a really wide selection of free music and sound effects that you can use in your podcast without worrying about copyright issues. Now, next we're going to talk about tips for getting started. Navigating the podcasting journey, okay, is what I call it. Now that you've got this kind of grasp on the tools and the platforms available to start the podcast, let's explore some tips to help you navigate the podcasting journey successfully. First, plan your content. Now, some people can get away with just hitting record and babbling. But before hitting the record button, take the time to plan your podcast episodes in advance. Outline the topics you want to cover, jot down a few key points, and consider the overall structure of each episode to keep your content focused and engaged. Now, what I mean by that is don't write down every word. I use a 3x5 card, and I actually have a fishbowl. I have a fishbowl that I grab a topic out of, which helps me get started, so I know what I'm going to talk about, and then I break out why it's important I'm talking about that, and why would people listen to it. That's how I basically plan out my topics. Next, you can practice. Practice makes perfect, and any skill podcasting requires practice. So don't freak out. Nobody cares. Actually, at the beginning, nobody's listening. It's not a big deal. If you go back to my episode 1 to the episodes now, world of difference. Just don't overthink it. But before recording your first episode, take some time to practice speaking naturally and confidently. I use a mirror. I look at myself when I talk. I use body language, eye contact, voice inflection. All of that stuff is important, and I can see it in a mirror. It really helps me. So you can experiment with different vocal tones, different pacings and styles and all that, but whatever works best for you. Just don't sound fake. Next, you can promote your podcast once you're done. Now, once your podcast is live, don't forget to promote it. Well, how do you do that? Well, you utilize social media platforms, online communities, and word of mouth. Right? Word of mouth marketing to spread the word for your podcast is huge, and it helps attract new listeners. Remember, if you opened up a restaurant, who would be the first people there to eat? Friends and family. Well, get them on board with your podcast. At least get them on board with subscribing and maybe listening to a couple of episodes, because that helps build your algorithm so that the podcast platforms will push your content. Next, you want to engage with your audience and respond to feedback. Whenever somebody says, great job, hey, what about this, what about that, always answer them in a timely fashion and try to create an interaction that's lengthy. It's really a neat opportunity to reach out and talk to people all over the world and actively seek out opportunities to grow your podcast reach by interacting with your audience. Last but not least is you got to learn as you go. Don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged by setbacks or imperfections. I don't even edit my podcast anymore. If you don't like my sniff or my or me clearing my throat, I'm sorry, but that sounds more genuine to me. But you can do what you like. There's going to be imperfections along the way. And remember that podcasting is a journey of continuous learning and improvement, just like everything else in life. So take feedback on board, experiment with new ideas, okay? And don't be afraid to evolve and adapt your podcasting approach as you gain experience. So I'm going to leave you with this. Podcasting offers an exciting opportunity for individuals like you to share their stories, their ideas, and their passions with the world. There's no boundaries. And with a plethora of free hosting platforms and budget-friendly equipment options, man, it's really never been a better time to start a podcast than now. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a complete beginner, the key to success lies in your creativity, your dedication, and your willingness to learn. Remember, it's all on you. So what are you waiting for? Grab your mic, fire up your recording software, and freaking start a podcast about what you're passionate about, because then you'll love talking about it. All right, I love you guys. Be safe, take care, sell a bunch, find somebody, and say something nice to them. See you soon.
You've been listening to the Productive, Not Busy podcast. Please hit the subscribe and notification of new episodes button and visit us on social media like Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok for bonus content.